welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm the Talking Dog Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and this channel is all about cross stitch. Today is the 2nd of October, it's a Wednesday, and I'm back with another update. So I've been trying to do them weekly. I managed 2 weeks in a row and then I skipped a week. But we only skipped a week, so we're back. We're going to try and keep going on a schedule. Essentially what happened was last week I was quite poorly. It was a very, very busy week anyway, so we started off with pink scissors transformed into TurtleBay Textiles on Saturday. We went down to South Wales to help Sophie with her rebrand and relaunch and open day and to enjoy it, and we enjoyed it. It was such a beautiful day. I'll talk about more about that later. That was Saturday. Sunday I was at a retreat as a vendor down in Cardiff, Loopy Lou's day retreat, which is lovely for all of the people I met. Thank you so much. It was such a lovely day. My father-in-law got married on Tuesday, so myself and my husband, we took the children out of school and nursery and we went to go and celebrate with them, which was lovely. And then on Saturday, just gone, I was in Crewe. I went to the Ladybird retreat in Crewe, again as a vendor, and met even more wonderful, lovely people, some faces that I'd only seen the week prior, which was really nice. And again, just another wonderful day. So if you were there at any of those events, thank you so much for coming to speak to me if you did, and I hope you had as much fun as I did, because it was just amazing. So after all of that, there wasn't really much time for filming, there wasn't really much time for stitching, but I feel like I have kind of made up for that in the past week or so. So I'll get into it. I've got a new start, if you can call it that. No finishes, but I have sent something off to be FFO'd at the Crewe Ladybird retreat. Lisa from Atelier Frames was there, so I have sent off one of my projects with her to be framed, and I can't wait to get it back and show you all, because I'm sure it'll be absolutely beautiful. The frame that we chose together is absolutely stunning, and yeah, just cannot wait to get that back. And then 3 or 4 whips, so a little bit to show you, and then there's a fair bit of haul. Yeah, let's get into it. My new start, it's being kept in this is a TurtleBay Stitches project bag. This is the first ever bag I bought from Sophie and the start of a beautiful friendship. So this bag has a lot of sentimental value to me, and this start is purely because it was Sally of Flossie Sews and Grows' birthday last week. Happy 50th birthday, Sally. I hope you had a wonderful time for your meal out and your holiday and everything. It sounded wonderful. And for her 50th birthday, she's doing 50 new starts. The start she chose for her birthday start itself, is this Americana Blue by October House Fibre Arts. And I decided that I just had to start it with her. Now, what I've wanted to do for a really long time is to do some sort of colour on colour stitching, so blue on blue, pink on pink, that kind of thing. And I just so happened to have a perfect piece of fabric for yellow on yellow. So ignoring the whole blue thing, I'm doing Americana Yellow. And it is the tiniest start, but needle has met fabric, it is underway, it's positioned, the hard part is done, and I can just get to stitching. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Megan Coffee Craft 32, I think it's 32, oh there's the thing, yeah, 32 count even weave in this gorgeous yellow with Sunflower by Gentle Art. And can you see it? Can you see it? It's right there. My teeny tiny little start. Let me see if I can get the colour. Can't really seem to get the colour to show, but as you can see, that yellow shows up really nicely on it. so I just need to keep going. Now, because I was so determined to do the tone on tone stitching, I'm using the other half of my fabric from when I did my ink circles round robin, which means I only have is it a fat eighth? It's not big enough to do the whole pattern 32 count 2/2, so we're doing it 1/1. So it's very dainty. It is looking lovely so far. I've managed, my stitches are staying relatively neat. I do need to be careful with it, but we're enjoying it. So that was a choice of, it was a decision made out of necessity rather than, oh, I think this will be really dainty 1/1. But I wanted this combo, so that's where we are. Happy birthday, Sally. Okay, first whip to show you is one that you've seen a number of times. Christmas Rules, whoops, Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I'm stitching this with Sherry of Just So Sherry, and she has separated the chart up into sections. So we've got section 1, section 2, down to hang your. Section 3 is, I think, this much, possibly this much, not sure. 4 and then 5. We started it 1st of July for Jolly July, and we hope to have it finished by the 1st of December to display for Christmas. So I believe, like I said, I believe we go, whoops, I've dropped it, to the bottom of this snowman here, and then the word snowman down is October's section. So I need to have finished that snowman in September to be caught up. Are you surprised I'm not caught up? No, I'm not. Yeah, honestly, it's me. However, you might be surprised at how bloody close I am, because here we are. Look at that. All that's missing from finishing September is 3 rows of white along here, and I'm caught up. Well, I'm leaving the back stitch till last because the snowman has a back stitched nose, French knot eyes. There's a couple of, oh, actually there was a Christmas tree in here as well, isn't there? So I need to do that. I'm not as close as I thought I was. But I'm over halfway through the project, which from the 1st of July is a minor miracle for me. It's being stitched all in CXC thread on 32 count platinum by Zweigart linen. Something on it there. I am using the called for Gentle Arts Cranberry for all of the red bits, but instead of the cocoa, I'm just using the called for alternative. Floss Drops from Jess Gets Stitching project bag from Cross Stitch Jess. Isn't it gorgeous? And that's that one. And I'm gonna keep on top of that. I've managed to get myself in a much better place to be caught up than I was. So I could very well be caught up throughout October. We'll see. So as I mentioned, I went to a couple of retreats. As you all probably know, there's not a whole lot of stitching that happens at retreats for me, but I did take my Tiny Towns in my Canny Little Fox multi-pocket, and the one that I chose to stitch a little bit on is Big Hearted Tiny Town. So when you saw it last, we had the tree, the first house and half of the second house, and since then we have got here. Not a lot. We've got a roof and some smoke and chimney stacks, and then half of the house next to it. So not too bad for a couple of days of retreat stitching. Again, this is being stitched all in CXC. What I did do was look at the cover photo to see which houses looked quite variegated, and I got the fancy flosses for those. Everything else I'm putting in CXC. So that is, I went for ripe melon. I've got things everywhere here, hang on. Ripe melon and the seashelly, yeah, seashelly. So those two I got as called for, the rest I've subbed. And it's being stitched on 32 count linen by Fibre on a Whim in the colour Brown Sugar, which has this slightly pinky tone to it. And if anyone would like to buy me about 18 more of these multi-pockets, I would not say no, because they are fabulous, especially for taking to retreats and things. I picked up one of my older whips this week, just for a little bit of progress, because every little bit helps. If you've been here before, you've heard me say it before, every stitch is a stitch closer to a finish. So here's the cover photo. It's Classic Princesses by Geo Creations, which was on Etsy. It's a PDF pattern. Let's see. Here we go. So I had already done Pocahontas, Tiana, Moana, Sleeping Beauty and Tangled, Rapunzel. And I've just been working on Snow White. So we are here. So she has got her skirt and bodice, need to pop in her sleeves and, well, the rest of her body. That's where we are. This is being stitched on 14 count opalescent Ada, just in white by Zweigart. If I'd known any better when I started it, I would have done an even weave, because there are lots of quarter stitches and things in the eyes and lips on all of the princesses, but it's working out pretty well so far. So I'm not here to UFO it or anything like that. I'm just going to keep plugging away at it. And this is just being stitched all in the called for DMC. Here we go. 5.5 out of 12. While I was at the Cardiff Stitchy Day, I had a lot of conversations with Danielle, Cardiff Stitcher Danielle, who was looking at picking up one of the Twisted Band samplers, which is one of my current whips. So we were having a chat and she was talking about how she might like to do it, and just, you know, when you're talking to someone, it just makes you like feel passionate about a project again. That's what happened. I came home and I picked it straight back up because I wanted to get some more stitching done on it. So this is Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. I am stitching it all in CXC, although I have just got a thread pack to pop in the shop, and the temptation to scrap the whole thing and start again using silk is so real, because have a look at that. Look. I can't. I'm gonna put those to one side before I attempt it. Yeah, like I say, I'm doing mine in CXC, and it does look beautiful even without the silks. This is on a piece of 32 count anthracite even weave by Zweigart, and here is where I'm at. So when you saw it last time, we had done these, they extended Smyrna crosses, something like that. So since the weekend I have put in the very last row of diagonal herringbone stitch and started in on the next cross stitch band. So that's band number 1 and band number 2 complete. It's just such a fabulous pattern, especially when you look at the cross stitches next to those specialty stitches. They look so delicate. And we got the pattern out over the weekend just to show Danielle how well sort of drawn the diagrams are to explain and teach these specialty stitches. They're just fabulous, fabulous chart if you're in the mood for learning a specialty stitch or two. That's all the stitching. That is all the stitching I've done in the last 2 weeks. It's not a ton, but like I say, it's been a busy one. That's not to say I didn't do some shopping though. So, like I said, I went to see Sophie in her shop. I went to Loopy Lou's retreat in Cardiff, and I went to the Ladybird retreat in Crewe. Now, because I was a vendor, the first thing I always do is I set up shop. I see people for the first few hours of the day, and then potentially after lunch, when everything's quieting down a little bit, I'll see if there's anything left on the de-stash tables or anything like that, because I do like to have a little look at the de-stash, but I'm not going to be the first one there. I'm going to let everyone else have their pick first and then see if there are any gems left over. That's exactly what I did. So we'll go in order and I'll show you what I got from Sophie, and then we'll go through all of the acquisitions. So one of the first things that I bought from Sophie is I ordered it a few weeks ago from her and picked it up at the weekend. So I'd gone down to see Sophie at TurtleBay Textiles on the Friday. I brought my sewing machine with me, and she taught me how to read a pattern, cut fabric, and sort of get everything sewn together so that I can make a pair of trousers. And I actually made a pair of trousers over the course of like a handful of hours over 2 days. You can't see much, but they are a big loose pair of palazzo pants, and they're so comfy and so lovely, and I'm really proud of how they've turned out. So that might have opened up a whole new I'm gonna make all of my own clothes type thing. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but for a first attempt ever at making anything kind of wearable, I'm so proud of myself, and thank you so much, Sophie, for all of your help putting it together. So the pattern that I used for the trousers also had the same style, but in a pair of shorts with a wraparound skirt. So I knew as soon as these came out semi-successfully, I needed to get fabric for the shorts. So while I was there, I picked some more fabrics up, and look at it! I can't decide if it's oranges or mangoes. Someone who knows the plant might have to tell me whether the flowers relate to oranges or mangoes. Either way, I love it. Just love it. So I've got I think it's 1.5 meters to try and turn into a pair of shorts at some point. Fabulous. And then of course, being queen of project bags and queen of pairing fabrics together for project bags, I've picked up a couple of cottons that I'm going to turn into a bag for one of my later purchases, which I'll show you in a second. I picked up a fat quarter. Did I get a fat quarter or I get a 1/2 meter? I'm not entirely sure. So, can you remember? I picked up this one of the little forest creatures, which is just so cute. The bears and the foxes and the hedgehogs. And then a coordinating green for the inside. I also bought some fabric scissors from Sophie, but they are neatly tucked away in my sewing kit now that I've got some decent fabric scissors. So that was from Sophie on the Saturday. On the Sunday, rummage. On the Sunday, I went into the de-stash room after I'd had a good picking over, and I found this. This is a piece of Crafty Kitten fabric, lovely blues and greens. It's called Sandy Pool, and it's a 20 count Ada, 13 by 18 inches. I also picked up this one. This is the Cotton and Twine box, September 2022 design, and it is fully kitted up. It's got all the fabric, all of the threads, and the pattern and everything. And I have the Merry and Bright Christmas version of this. So when I do eventually start and finish them both, I'll finish them the same way, and then they can switch out between Halloween and Christmas in terms of being displayed. Look at me talking like I'm ever going to finish anything. So yeah, picked that one up. And then the week after, I went, like I said, to Ladybird. Louise was there. No, Louise? Who is Louise? Lisa. Sorry, Lisa. Lisa was there with the Telia frames, and what she tends to do at retreats is bring a box or two of frames of all sorts of varying sizes, like £5 frame, £10 frame, as they come. So I had a good old dive in the £5 frame box, again after everyone else had given it a good picking over, and I've come out with 4 frames. So these two are both the same size. So those two, just a nice thin black frame and just a simple one on the back. I did a bit of measuring, and Tiny Town is a little bit too narrow to make sense. So it would fit this way, but it would look a bit silly this way. So I need to find something else. It can go either vertically or horizontally. I'm sure I'll find something to finish into these, but those are what I picked up from Lisa. And I also picked up 2 of these. These are not the same size as each other, but they are very similar. So I'm really happy with those. And then at the de-stash table, last thing on the Saturday, I picked up 2 bits of white fabric. I'm not sure what count this is. That's a linen and that's an even weave. I'm going to say probably 32 on both of those. And I just picked those up because I thought I could have a go at dyeing. It'd be really interesting to have a go at dyeing. So I'm going to pick up some Rit dye and experiment a little with those. I also picked up this. So this is it Joan Elliott? Yeah, artwork by Joan Elliott. It says, "Gather your dreams, let their spirit guide you." And it's got these lovely dream catchers, sort of chart and the threads, but no fabric, but we can find some fabric, no problem. And I have another one of these. Bear with me a sec. There we go. I've got this one. So we're gathering a little collection here, which is exciting. When I was at Big Stitch earlier in the year, I ordered some XJU Designs fabrics from the little stand that they had, and they have now come in. And I ordered 4 pieces of fabric. So I'll go through what I've got with you. I think they're all 40 count. No, that one's 32. Right. So in 40 count, I got sampler khaki, I got Grandpa's sleeve, I wish that had been in time for me to start Away We Ride on it, but never mind. Grandma's slip. It's coming on brighter orange, brighter yellow than it is actually in person. Those were all 40 count, and then I got a 32 count gold sand, which is very similar to Grandma's slip, except on a paler base. So 4 lovely pieces of fabric there. And finally, and the big one. I've wanted to do one of these for ages, and like I mentioned in my last video, I've not long since been to Annick's Poison Garden, and it's inspired a whole load of cross stitching for me now. So I picked up this. This is a chatelaine pattern, the Poison Garden mandala. I don't know if I can get it to... So in each of these sort of archways is a different poisonous plant, and there's just little labels, all like they're right in the border there. There's a kind of plant as well, and I also have started kitting it up. So I bought the bead pack from European Cross Stitch, and it was fab. Dispatched really quickly and arrived with me really quickly, and just look how well they're sorted out. It just looks, I can't wait to start playing with all the teeny tiny tubes. So yes, I need some fabric for it. Do I stitch it on white? Do I try and find something a bit like what I'm stitching my Greenhouse of Oddities on, which is like a yellowy green, bit moody? It needs to have the beads on it, so I'm thinking either a 28 or 32 count. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions of what might suit, let me know. Don't want anything too dark, because I want to be able to see and enjoy stitching it. But maybe something, maybe blue, so that it shows up through those archways, or something like that. Yes, I've got a fair few threads to kit up with this. There are a lot of Karen water lilies and Glorianas in this. So we'll just kit up bit by bit. I can't believe I've done it. Pulled the trigger. And that's it from me this week. I hope I will be back. Oh, hang on. With my XDU design threads, I did get a gift thread. Look, this kind of variegated brown. Just spotted that lurking in the bottom of my tray there. And that is it. That is it. So I have got a couple of plans. So I might have yesterday signed up to the Needle Lot Designs Stitch Along, which I believe is called The Secret Grove, woodland creatures type vibes, which is what, where are they? Where have my fabrics gone? Which is what I'm going to put inside this project bag. I haven't yet picked a fabric, but I think I have something in mind. The pre-stitch instructions are really good. It gives you all sorts of information about colours to avoid, colours to lean to when you're picking your fabrics. So I'll make my bag, find a fabric, start kitting up. I'll be doing it in CXC, as I tend to do. And that starts, pre-sale was yesterday, and the stitching starts on the 1st of November. I'll pop a link down below to the Needle Lot Designs website where you can order the stitch along and have a look. I love everything Iris does, so yeah, you didn't need to convince me. Don't need to ask me twice, and I'm signed up for it. I also have, what else do I have planned? Oh, my Hair of the Dog stitch along at the end of October. Thank you so much for everyone who has said that they're going to stitch along with me and start a primitive hair piece on the 30th of October for my birthday. I'm so excited. I've had so many messages, and people in person at retreats and stuff say that they will definitely join in, which is so lovely. So that's on the 30th of October. I'll pop down below the hashtag Hair of the Dog Sal, talking dog, primitive hair, Hair of the Dog, and I'm going to stitch in London. Not weekend 1, which is this weekend, but weekend 2, next weekend. I will be taking the shop with me for the Saturday, I think. I'm not sure. I think it's just the Saturday. and I'll get some stitching time on the other days, which will be really exciting. Thank you to everyone that I've seen over the past few days and weeks. So I've obviously met up with Soph, Cross Stitch Jess, Just So Sherry. There have been so many people. If you are a YouTuber and I have not mentioned you, I'm really sorry. Mama Loves You GB turned up to TurtleBay Textiles open day, which was wonderful. She did a little bit of shopping and she milled around and helped people with colours and stuff. It was just lovely to see her. Mentioned Cardiff Stitcher Danielle, and then I at Crew had like a couple of hours of stitching after I closed up shop. I went to go and sit again with Cross Stitch Jess, Tan the monogamous cross stitcher, Emma X Stitching, Jo Belushi Stitches, Chloe Penguin Cross Stitch, and I think that was it for Flosstubers on that table. If I met you and didn't know who you were because I was in my like focusing on all of the things people were looking at and asking and all that kind of stuff, pop me a message down below. I would love to start putting faces and names to Instagram handles and YouTube handles and stuff. I've just had such an overwhelmingly lovely couple of weeks. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to match that next week. I haven't got anything happening this weekend. I might just have to sit and stitch and have loads of things to show you instead. So yeah, it's been lovely sitting and talking all things stitching with you. I will hope to see you again next week. And if you watched this far, thank you very much. And I will see you again soon. Bye.